Good morning and welcome to a quick pre-market video, and with the question, which stocks will benefit the most today from the news that we had by the end of the week as well as on Saturday around Chinese regulators changing the rules for actually allowing US oversight for the accounting. And we see nicely in the pre-market NIO is up more than 5%. And also if we look at Hong Kong stocks in general, like XPeng was up 10%, Li Auto 10%, BYD up by a lot, Meituan as well, Baidu 7%. So overall we'll see that there is a push into these names, possibly already starting today and in this entire week. But of course, a possible rally in Chinese stocks cannot go without the US tech index making higher highs as well. So we've been doing quite well here, bouncing from the lows. And the question is like, how well can these names actually continue to outperform currently? We have seen that ARK Invest is also bottoming out, as it seems. Oil is up slightly. The 10-year is not increasing too much, which should be good. And VIX is also up just slightly, but really at low levels currently, given that we are still in a wartime period. Now back to our Chinese names and the questions which will be actually benefiting the most. And yes, of course, there has been so much talk about NIO and delisting that this will obviously benefit NIO stock as well as some other bigger names like Alibaba and Baidu. And possibly these stocks will actually be the first in focus. However, I think if we're looking at this as a potential turnaround, right, this is still not entirely fixed if this will all solve out and if those companies will actually stay listed, but it's increasingly likely so. So if we see this as a process, I think who will win over time actually the most will rather be some of those Chinese small cap names. For example, I've got here some in my list: SAP Health, Xunlei, Axnet, Tiger, Futu, Huya, Tutojiao, Setlab, Yihang, VNet, Doi. And why? Because if you look at those companies and how they are priced currently, some of them are trading below the cash value that they have in the books. So some of these companies could actually buy back the entire company right now based on how low this market cap is or the enterprise value. And why are they priced so low? Because these companies would have a harder time to actually find a way of getting around a delisting. For example, listing in Hong Kong, there are listing requirements that may actually not be viable for each of these companies to actually make a secondary listing or primary listing in Hong Kong. And so this is also possibly one of the reasons why these names have been sold off so much. And yes, fund managers will possibly not dive into these names immediately because these are also usually names that are lesser known. There is not much news around it. But if we look at the possible overall gains that Chinese stocks could make, I would say this would be my bet, to pick some of these smaller China small caps and see that they will actually outperform even the larger names like Baidu, Alibaba and so on. But it doesn't say that this is currently already the time as this will be happening. However, maybe not the stupidest idea to have a look at some of these names right now and allocate maybe some of the risky part of your portfolio to nibble a little bit on some of these names, because I think these could show substantial gains in case this US-China delisting issue can finally be solved in summer this year. So let me know down in the comments what will be your pick for these names, and then see you in the next one.